Welcome to the cult of democracy. You know what? I did this as a joke in my second to last live stream, and I put hashtag MAGA woman on there, as well as my usuals. I got 1,100 the last time I checked, and that's like in a day for saying we need to become a cult. But putting this on, they thought I was MAGA, probably. Um, it's like, wow. So are you ready? Are you getting ready for Saturday? I hope so. I've got a bum knee and lymphocytic colitis, and I'm going to be there Saturday. I've been like never missed a rally in my life until recently with my foot. Uh, had a broken foot and I had a broken knee, and foot recovered. And now the knee is having surgery in May, and it's like I don't care. I don't care. My husband is dropping me off and picking me back up again. He's not keen on crowds. Uh, but it's it's beyond time to show up. Most of my friends are showing up every weekend. I show up here every day, but I hope you're going everywhere that you live. There is going to be a gathering of people. I'm in Kansas City. It's going to be tens of thousands. Actually, over 1.5 million people have signed up and said they're going to be in downtown Kansas City Saturday. So I'm going, and I'm going to, here, I'll show you. I haven't got it done yet, but so I recycled this like Barstow School family sign. It's foam board, and it was Sardiani, convenient, pokey in the ground yard sign. And if you've got any of those, if you're like me, you probably have that stuff stuffed in the garage. Get some poster board. I'm going to trim it to size, put it on each side, and paint Those Nasty Women Talk and Hands Off America. And please subscribe, because I am a social media whore, evidently, if that's what we call doing business online. Although I did close the store, Sweet Shopping Group is not gone forever, though. We will be back, but the new tax laws regarding origin taxes, which they added 4%, 4% is huge. If you know anything about e-commerce or commerce, taking 4% of your profit margin is terrible. And I'm already nonprofit, so there's just no room. And I don't have a tax department that can file in every single destination city that we send to. So the Sweet Shopping Group and Feel Good Fair Trade are kind of shuttered for a moment. I didn't shut down the back end. I just shut down the front end. Back end is as easy as flipping the front end back on. So I do expect to get there after the book is released. So do look for the Sweet Shopping Group and Sweet Stuff Online to be coming back. It didn't really go away. It's just caught in fucking bureaucratic BS. Oh, we're not supposed to cuss anymore. Can get you in trouble. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And after all, I'm starting to think I'm really not going to die a natural death. I hope that we're not going to have a civil war and it's not going to get crazy. And I'm certainly not going to go out guns blazing, but I will protect what's mine, and I will show up. So show up. Pause for a drink of your not wine, for sure. Oh, I am embarrassed to be an American for the first time. But then I have to like slap myself around and go, no, you were raised a patriot. You were raised to believe in your country. You don't believe in your leader, and he is my leader, and he is your leader. And if you are one of the people like me for a long time who says, he's not my president, he's not my president, it's like, he goddamn is. So I need to say that with all the bitter taste in my mouth and the bile that it brings up. I need to get it in my heart and gut and soul that he is my president, and that needs to change. That cannot be accepted. I will no longer enjoy weekends in the garden, hoping it all works out. I'm showing up. I'm showing up with a bum knee. I'm showing up with a crutch if I have to. I'm showing up with a sign. It's going to be more meaningful after I get some paint on it, clearly. But show up, please, because I mean, we're all on here like in tears. Those of us who, like me, I mean, I'm 60 years old. People think I look younger, even in person. There's wonderful filter shit going on here. Um, but I really look a lot older than TikTok makes me look, even without trying. And the deal is, I was born in 1964. So I'm actually a boomer. Another embarrassing thing to say you're a boomer. um, sorry, boomers. But then oh, wait, that's me. But I've always I'm like, no, it's not me. I was born in September. It was September 2nd. It's not me. I'm not a boomer. But I'll tell you what, I learned I was a boomer though. I learned I was a boomer this morning. No, yesterday afternoon, when I didn't know, after all this time I've been posting videos on YouTube and I've been treating it like a library. I do lives and then I just save it to a playlist. And I didn't know that you were supposed to do more than that if you want to like get anybody to know you. So my Facebook followers are like pushing 7,300. My TikTok followers are pushing 2,500, and I have 78 on YouTube. Well, evidently you're supposed to share it. There's like a community thread. I never looked that shit up. I am a boomer, I must admit. But there are some advantages to being a boomer. We've been around a bit, and we have never seen anyone try to take over our government in this manner, but we have seen it happen all over the world. And younger people, and especially those who don't understand and haven't studied history to a more in-depth way than what they got you through the 6th grade in with, and even that's going away, some of it, but we'll get to that later. That's a whole other subject. But if you're the average American these days and you didn't live in a wartime, or with parents and grandparents who talked about living in a wartime, telling you how good you got it because you're not living in a wartime like they did. My mom in her flower sack dresses that my grandma sewed for her. The air raids in St. Louis that sent them into blackouts that were frightening. If you haven't lived through any of that and all you do is see foreign wars on the news and you don't really pay attention to who's doing what to who or why, which seems impossible to me, but more people than not are that person. They're not paying attention to any of that. That's why it's so easy to just become a party loyalist one way or the other. I even know Democrats that I are like, they don't know why they're a Democrat. They just are. And you really should know why you do things, whatever side you're on. And I propose we eliminate sides, and we'll get to that too. I keep jumping around here. There's so much to talk about. But we need to vote without thought about what our parents voted, about what our party line is, about what our hopes and dreams are. We need to look at reality, all of us. We need to stop calling ourselves Republicans and Democrats. Why do we need more parties? Why can't we just have no parties? Why can't we just have people run as people with ideas, and then we vote for the ones that have the kind, decent, right ones and be done with it? So kind of as a joke, and it started as profit. I started a page called Full Profit, like, I don't know how long ago, a year, maybe a little over a year. It was kind of a joke because I was trying to torment my sister, which is another story you don't need. And she didn't even know because she doesn't even do Facebook. It was just my own personal little fun that, yeah, and I also have told my children I'm going to be a prophet someday. I'm going to be a prophet someday. When they were little, I'm like, that's my backup plan. I'm going to be a prophet. So back me up if that ever happens. Okay. And then into the pandemic and started live streaming, and my minister friend told me that I'm a modern day prophet. And I'm like, oh give me a break. You're kidding, right? And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, so anyway, I am not a prophet. I am exactly like everyone else. Back to the thing. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer who didn't even know I was supposed to be sharing these YouTube videos. So I shared one and it had 1.1 thousand views in 24 hours. And I'm hoping that 78 YouTube viewers is going to start rising now that I know that you're supposed to share the videos. You young people are on here to like look for a job. I've had a lot of them. I'm retired more or less. I mean, I'll never retire, but I am literally spending all of my time trying to change laws, fix the world for my children and their children, your children, and everyone in the world. My father was a preacher and a guidance counselor in a high school, and then he became the high school principal. You know, I'm like, my whole life, I've been surrounded by people trying to help people and doing that thing. And I just, I know that back to the top, when I feel embarrassed to be included in the Americans, and when people, my international friends, and I have a lot of them say, your president, they're not trying to hurt me. It's just they say, your president. And then I'm like, he's not my president. And it's like, and they go, right? Well, they have a right to do that. He is my president. So back to the top, you have to get it in your heart that this guy's really in control. And if you don't want that to happen, please show up Saturday. Please show the hell up. Not just Saturday, going for it. I don't know what it's going to take. When you get our Senator Cory Booker gets up there and he's honest with you, he says, my constituents are like, you're not doing enough. He's like, what can I do? That's why I'm here. I'm going to talk for over 24 hours because I'm that out of other, not ideas, but ways to go. That's the political system as it's set up. So take responsibility. You, the voter, me, did you hit the streets? Did you make phone calls? Did you talk some sense into anybody you could that you know? Or did you just think it was all going to turn out okay? Because it didn't. And it's not unless we each individually take responsibility and look at the president and say, oh my God, that is my president. What am I going to do about it? And then do something. So then we get back to, but we all feel tied. What do? Well, we see the flaws in the system for one thing. I definitely, when we get a president with some common sense, I want a purple president next time, not a red or a blue one. Then what we do is, like I said, start voting for right and wrong, for benefit and not benefit. Start voting as Americans based on our hearts, not be led by family history or billionaire buyouts. You know, I might get $1 million. I'll vote for you. It shouldn't be legal. If you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. But in Citizens United is crazy important to support. I'm not made of money, and I support a lot of people right now because they're actually making a difference in local and regional races. So back to what I was saying about Cory, or referring back to Cory Booker, Senator Cory Booker. Yes, it's my responsibility. It's mine. And it's your responsibility to get out the vote in your community, to represent, to be a good person and a good citizen and a good community member, and to vote in your local and community. So many people only vote. I don't even finish sentences. I'm so excited and upset at the same time. So many people in communities don't vote for the representatives that represent those communities. They just wait it out for like the presidential election, and a lot less people vote on senatorial and representative races. And it's like, or congressional. I mean, why? What part of they start local before they get big. Don't you understand? Where do you think the MTGs and the Lauren Boeberts started? I'm telling you, it wasn't with a platform in New York. It wasn't with a platform in an Ivy League university. It was in their own backyard, in their own hometown, as Steve Earle would say. I sang it yesterday. I'll spare you today. Um, God, I want to sing it so bad. You know, I do. I'm a singer, really. A singer-songwriter, and then I became a neurolinguistic practitioner specializing in complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, which I have, and relational sexuality, which is not sex with relations. It's actually what you do in the aftermath of those sort of things to fix your relationship and not throw the baby out with the bathwater. A lot of people in marriages and partnerships, they end up breaking up because one or the other of them has complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they haven't said so. They probably don't even know it themselves. And my book, it's in the background here. The cover's actually changed. It's still recognizable. It's different, like the fist. I can't. How do weather girls and boys do this? Men and women. It's all backwards. Okay. This goes down. I can't think backwards like that. I'm already autistic. That is beyond my ability to cope. So I will see you Saturday, and I will be there with every battery pack charger I have. We're going live. We're going live. I have a tracking tripod now. I'm bringing, plus my sign. That will have words on it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, my brother used to go da, 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 like his fingers are locked together, right? And then he'd like hide them and then come back and they'd be apart. Ah, and I'm like 5. Oh, it's so cool. Don't forget to be in awe of life. It's easy to just be upset all the time. I'm going to throw that in there too. People are like, you're so angry. You must be miserable. It's like, no, actually, I'm not. I'm not miserable. And I'm angry about some things, but that's because I'm so in love with so many other things. I love my children. I love my husband. I love flowers and sunshine. I love thunder and lightning. I love the smell of a breeze and a campfire. And I love going new places. I love food, clearly. I have more to love than not. And that goes for in America too. So back to the top and wrap it up. My president. Ugh, I know it's hard to say. My president can't stay that way. We got to get rid of him. We have to get rid of him. We have to vote him out. We can't let him do all the things he's trying to do. We can't let him. Well, we might have no choice. If the Supreme Court decides to work with either of the two angles they're shooting at for a third term, one of which is, it doesn't say consecutive, or it says consecutive. How we can interpret that highly. 2 consecutive terms. Well, if you can only serve 2 consecutive terms, but it was divided by somebody, then so that's one angle they're going for. But they're also pushing for what is it? Elected. The word elected official. So instead, we would vote. We as a country, a majority, if that would happen and win, would vote for Vance, and then he could abdicate the throne, so to speak, in the real language that applies here, to Trump. And then he wouldn't have been elected into a third term. He would have been given it. And somehow they're going to argue that's perfectly okay. And this is why Supreme Courts matter. So thank you, Wisconsin. Thank you, Wisconsin voters, for not being bought out by Elon Musk. I hope the people that took $1 million checks turned around and voted for Crawford anyway, because that's even more fun. But you got the cheesed. You got cheesed. And Mr. Tesla man, So many more things to talk about, but you know what? I'm going to be sure to do that every single day. Oh, you know what? I just found out TikTok has a requirement that you have to be live for 25 minutes to be counted as live that day. And they actually pay you, but only if you're live for 25 minutes total or minimum. And I have no idea how long I've been on here, but I didn't start till way, way late. I don't think it's been 25 minutes. So I think I'm going to stay a little longer and I'm going to tell you some exciting personal stuff. Why the hell not, right? Why not just put the laundry right out front for everyone? This is good stuff, actually. I was asked by my publicist, who is the number one publicist for self-help authors in the world, who has handled all, not only made the careers of, but handled all of Jack Kennedy's Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And I don't even know how many titles there are. There are so many different ones and in different languages and spins to it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, all his stuff. Kellyanne's Bone Broth Diet, whoever wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I think you have to flip that. I really should look that up. This is the publicist that's been helping me for 3 years now. And I could not have gotten where I am without their help, their coaching, their mentorship. And I am now, I've been asked to actually do a legit testimonial. That's the word I'm looking for Bradley Group, Steve Harrison's company. And I'm like, absolutely. It hasn't started yet, but just watch what happens right now. I'm a case study. I've booked over 70 appearances. I keep saying over 70 because I haven't actually counted. I think it's 76. And that was all but 2 people at the National Publicity Summit said yes, they want to talk to me. And part of the reason that they do is because Virginia Shepard, my publicity image consultant, specialist, spin doctor, she was always available. And she threw me like so many emails full of pitch ideas. Because when you talk to different agencies, you have to pitch each one differently. When you're pitching a book, call it Assault, I have a point to make. So to some people, it's a parenting magazine and it's about prevention. But to some people, it's a medical journal and it's about misdiagnosis and medication. And to some people, it's a spiritual thing. And it's about not talking to us like our virginity was stolen, robbed, and ruined, or we're never going to tell the language of society. So there's all these different ways to approach the same book, the same subject. And I can't even tell you the countless hours and hours and hours of free help I got from Steve Harrison Group. And then when I was ready to go, and it took me like 3 years to save up enough to like go to the National Publicity Summit, they wouldn't accept me at first because Dave Holland didn't think that I was ready. And he was right. I'm scattered. I'm all over the place. I'm autistic. So he worked with me to get me not that way. He told me what was wrong with my website. Like, it's a mess, girl. Clean it up. And I did those things. And finally, they accepted me. So if Steve Harrison's group talks to you and they say, we will work with you, do it. Do it. Do it. Because they don't mess around and they turn away far more people than they take. Because you have to have a topic and a presence that they know will work. But the thing is, they can see if you've got that, even if you don't. And they craft you and they help you. I had an image specialist. I had a pitch specialist. It was amazing. It was amazing. Definitely, if you're a writer, if you've got a message and a movement, go to Steve Harrison. And I'm going to do an endorsement for him because he asked me to. And evidently I had with only 2 people saying no. And out of respect, I won't say who they are because I'm hoping to turn that around. They were both daytime talk shows. But all the other 70 people said yes. So I'm going to be getting going here on actually appearing and talking about it. But we keep postponing the out date because it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And with Steve Harrison's group on board, the sky is literally the limit. So I wanted to get endorsements and things going. So Steve Harrison's group is also helping me with the endorsements. And they have a publicity program that could help me do all the publicity I don't have time to do myself. They could be calling them for me. And as soon as I can afford that, which isn't much, they're very inexpensive. I'm just very, very median income. I was not going to say low because that's rude, but I don't have money to let, Grandma would say. So very appreciative and intend to use their services going forward. So that was one huge thing. Also, that they're going to record a 3-minute trailer, and it's going to be by an Emmy awarded director is going to direct a 3-minute trailer for me. And I can either do it here in my home studio or go to Philadelphia and do it in their studio. Go to Philadelphia. I know, but I can't afford it. Well, we'll help you. Really? That'd be awesome. Why don't you subscribe? And then I will send my first 8 subscribers butterfly earrings, because here, they're right here. I got some for me and loved them so much that I ordered all the rest they had, and I'm waiting for them to restock. Look at my crystal butterfly earrings. Aren't they pretty? They're not real gold because I couldn't afford to give those to you, but they're super pretty, and they're like heavyweight but not too heavy, sparkly glass. And the first 8 subscribers, it's $4.99 a month, and what you get for that is absolutely nothing but knowing you're doing good in the world for Sweet Survivor. And we are survivors working to end exploitation and trafficking. I am a childhood sexual assault survivor, and I do thosenastywomen.com. Well, it all goes to the same place, LindaKGifford.com, sweetsurvivor.com, thosenastywomen.com. In fact, yesterday morning, I bought gettinggoodtrouble.us, and then I turned around and offered it to whoever wants it, like AOC or Birdie or the Democratic PAC or whoever wants the .com. I'm going to give it to them, as long as they have a huge audience and people bigger than me to handle it. It was a great .com, and I just wanted to snap it up before somebody. See what happens in this industry. People like, if there's a good .com or someone says something publicly and someone thinks it's going to be a good .com, they buy it. I do that. I own like 15 at least .coms, and I bought thosenastywomen.com right after he called us Those Nasty Women. Right after he said that, I was like, that's going to be potentially useful, or something that we can base a movement around. Then he didn't get reelected, and I was like, oh, gonna retire it. It just kind of floated along as a store, actually, as part of the Sweet Shopping group. It was thosenastywomen.com, was like meditation and bath salts, meditation bowls, incense, stuff like that, and all by fair trade women, artisan entrepreneurs. And my Sweet Shopping group is shut right now, but temporarily. It's the new law shit, the new origin and destination taxes I was explaining earlier. But all this just Those Nasty Women, I was going to retire it. I was going to retire it and never let the nasty words come out of my mouth, because I didn't want to refer to anything that came out of his mouth. But here we are. He is my president and he is your president, and that sucks. So let's band together, Those Nasty Women, and let's talk. And if you're in KC, please come join me. Come join me. I'm going to be down there with my tracking tripod camera and a microphone and my sign, which will be painted, and we are going to say hands off America until we get it back. Okay? Please subscribe. If you do the first 8 people, I will need you to message me your address so I can ship you these butterfly earrings, which is the symbol for Sweet Survivor, if you don't know that already. It's in everything. Like even everything has got I can't do it backwards. Everything's got the butterfly snuck on there somewhere that I do pretty much. I will talk to you tomorrow. I've got a lot of press kits to get out. It's Sexual Assault Month. Sexual Assault Awareness Month is a much better way to put that. So I need to get too busy. Get too busy. Bye.